There are there are many myths that kind of circulate regarding the effects of cheating or infidelity on divorce and or custody, and the rumors are based in truth that's no longer truth. So in other words, there was a time where infidelity mattered a lot. But most states, and certainly Colorado, have now moved to what's called a no-fault model of divorce, which basically means that the misbehavior of any particular person in the divorce is not particularly relevant, particularly when it comes to marital infidelity. It's not completely irrelevant, though. But so the myths are that if you cheated, you might get more alimony, or the other side might get more alimony. Or if one side cheated, the other side might get more child support. If one side cheated, it meant that custody would be awarded to the other party, and various things like that. And these myths are they don't hold much water anymore. What can still be important is the manifestations of the behavior, what the behavior means to the parent who committed the infidelity, their willingness to put the children first, for instance, to put the well-being of the children inside the marriage, or sometimes the infidelity can also reflect on that spouse's behavior financially towards the marriage. Did the spouse waste assets in committing the infidelity? Did the spouse commit some sort of fraud or some sort of other activity that hurt the marital estate? In those circumstances, it can in fact have an effect on the final distribution. But remember, it's not actually the infidelity that is having the effect. It's the behavior around it. Did they take some vacations using marital assets that would not have been approved? Did they buy some gifts that would not have been approved? Did they have an open relationship in front of the children that would cause the children to form a poor image of the other parent or the parent committing the infidelity? These are questions that still do have relevance because it's not about fault. It's not about fault in the divorce. It's about predicting the willingness of both parents to foment a positive relationship with the other parent, and the willingness of both parents to put the children first and to have as paramount in their consideration the best interests of the children. In those circumstances, certain specific behaviors, not particularly the infidelity, but the behaviors around the infidelity, like gifts, like spending, like exposing the children to a new relationship in an inopportune way, those could have effects. So the myths are that it automatically has an effect, and those should be debunked, but one shouldn't throw out, no pun intended, the baby with the bathwater, because the behaviors around it can still have an effect. And that is an important factor that your legal team will be able to put in the proper context and get before the court, where it might be difficult for somebody prosecuting a no-fault divorce on their own. So when it comes to infidelity in a divorce, when an infidelity was the cause of the divorce or happened prior to the divorce, while it may not have a particular impact on distribution of marital assets or on parenting time or custody, unless some of the behaviors around the divorce affected those behaviors can have specific and particular effects on marital support and or child support, in as much as those behaviors affected the marital estate. So in other words, if the marital estate was wasted in some way that puts a detriment to the other spouse on a long-term basis, let's say some major asset that they could have counted on for income was wasted, or to the children because some source of assets for the support of the children is now gone, that can have an effect on the marital and or the child support going forward. But remember, it's not the infidelity that has that effect, but it's rather the behavior, whether it be fraud or waste of the marital estate, that can affect those calculations.